Thank you for joining me for another relaxation yoga sequence. To begin with, we're going to start with Janu Shirshasana. Begin in Dandasana, legs stretch out in front of you. Extend up through the crown, bend the left knee, bring heel to pubic bone, toes to inner right thigh. Press left knee and thigh into floor, extend out through the right leg. Rotate the pelvis forward, center torso over extended leg, and bend forward over the leg, elongating on the inhalation, deepening forward on exhalation. This pose helps to stimulate the stomach, aiding in digestion. To come out, inhale and lift, extending out and up. Now fold your right knee, heel to pubic bone, toes to inner left thigh. Rotate the pelvis forward over leg and fold forward over the leg. Hold and breathe. This pose also helps to stretch muscles of the abdomen, shoulders, spine, neck, thigh, and groin. It's wonderful to help relieve menstrual pain as well. To come out, inhale and lift. Unfold right knee, back to Dandasana. Now we're going to move into cobbler's pose. Bend the knees, bring the feet together, hold both feet, drop the knees down, position the heels as close to the body as possible without strain, and fold forward. Hold and focus on your breathing. Cobbler's pose is beneficial for opening of the groin and the hips, and it's a wonderful counter pose for long hours of sitting in a chair at a desk. Deep inhales and deep exhales.
Kick.
Now a variation of cobbler's pose, we're just going to move our feet further out in front of us. Knees are still dropped down. Fold forward. Hold and focus on your breathing. Inhale and exhale. Next, we're going to move into half Lord of the Fishes pose. Extend the legs out in front of you. Hands will be by the hip joints. Engage the core, lengthen the spine. Right knee in close to the body and cross it over to the outside of the left thigh. Bring the left heel to outside of right hip. Leverage of hands to lengthen the spine. Right hand behind you, close to the body. Reach up with the left arm, exhale, bend the elbow, and place the left arm outside the right thigh. Create leverage. Exhale and rotate the head to the right toward the back of the room. Relax and breathe. Keep your wrist straight. Now to come back, gaze to the front, uncross the arms, uncross legs, and return legs to straight out in front of you. Now we will bend in the left knee close to the body and cross the left foot over to the outside of the right thigh. Right heel to outside left hip. Left hand behind you close to the body. Reach up with right arm. Exhale, bend elbow. Place right arm outside of left thigh. You are exhaling on the rotation and you are turning your head to the left. Relax and breathe. This pose helps to stretch the side body, the upper back and neck, and improves spinal mobility overall. Now uncross legs, return to legs straight out in front of you. Now moving into a malasana squat. Move to the front of the mat. I will be on the side of the mat. Bend knees, lower butt toward the floor into a squat. Place upper arms inside your knees. Bring palms together, hands to heart center. Spine straight, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Stay here and breathe. If you need a variation or more support, grab a block and put it under your buttocks and just sit on the block. Your knees are still bent, the butt is still lowered toward the floor, and your arms are still inside your knees. Palms together, hands at heart center, and breathe. This pose is great for calm and strength. Now we're going to move into a plantar stretch. Come to hands and knees, curl toes under, heels straight up. Slowly sink the hips back toward the heels until you feel a stretch in the soles of the feet. You may be able to bring the spine upright and hands to prayer. Hold for several breaths. If you're in need of a variation for this pose, you can take a block, position the block behind you between your legs, and sit on it. So the block is going to be positioned tall-wise, and you're just resting your buttocks on top of the block, so it takes a little bit of the strain off of the plantar. This stretch is wonderful to relieve and prevent plantar fasciitis. It targets the plantar fascia as well as the Achilles and hamstrings. Now we're going to move into shoulder stand. Bend the legs, feet flat on the floor. Begin to walk your feet back towards your shoulders underneath your body. Then we will position our shoulders, shimmy them a little bit under yourself, and then lift the hips off the mat, coming into bridge pose. Place hands on low back, extend one leg up at a time, and once the legs are raised, do not turn your head to the side. Keep your gaze upward, neck straight. Lift up through the balls of the feet. Walk the hands further up the back for stability, hips over shoulders, feet over hips. If you're in need of a modification for this pose to make it more restful, you will again come into bridge pose and then position the block underneath your buttocks and then come down and rest on the block. Then lifting one leg at a time off the mat. Supported shoulder stand. Relax and breathe. This pose is wonderful as a counter pose for sitting at a computer all day, or for carrying a heavy shoulder bag, or for stress in neck and shoulder area in general. It helps calm and relax. To come out, bring the feet back overhead to come through plow pose if you're in the regular pose. Rolling out of plow slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Moving on into happy baby with head flat on the floor. Bend your knees toward your chest at 90-degree angle for this wonderful happy baby pose. Soles of feet toward the ceiling. Grab hold of inside or outside of the feet. Spread the knees apart, shifting them toward the armpits. Flex your heels. Rock side to side if you feel comfortable. Relax and breathe. When you're ready, let go of the feet, extend the legs long, and get ready for our last pose, corpse pose or savasana. Exhale into savasana. Release and melt into the floor. The tendency may be to move. Just relax. This is where we integrate all of our actions or movement, where we can reorient toward what we care about, where you can drop the story that you're not enough, so we can move out of our own way. Relax and breathe here. Deep inhalation and exhale all the air out. Let the feet move to the side of the mat. Just let them fall open. No effort here for this pose. When you're ready, begin to bring movement to fingers and toes and stretch arms overhead. Feet to mat, roll to the side, and gently push yourself up to a seated position. Hands to your knees, eyes closed, tall spine, hands to heart center. May we continue to show up with vulnerability. We bow to our shared connection and the responsibility that this holds. Thank you for joining me for today's short yoga exercise. Namaste.